this video, we will be talking about everything you need to know about the smooth endoplasmic reticulum, also known as the smooth ER. It is called smooth because the surface lacks ribosomes. So let's take a look over here. This is the rough ER over here, and as you can see over here is the smooth ER. Remember that the rough ER was called rough because the surface had ribosomes. If you missed that video, or you are unsure about what the rough ER does, or if you're just curious, you could check out our video on the rough ER. I will post a link in this video and in the description below. Anyways, let's get back to the smooth ER. So, the smooth ER lacks ribosomes compared to the rough ER. The smooth ER is also the site of steroid synthesis, detoxification of drugs and poisons, and it helps store calcium ions. Do you guys know what organs in your body are involved in the detoxification of drugs and poisons? That's right, it's mainly the liver. Therefore, it would make sense that liver cells have a lot of smooth ER. And so let's take a look over here. This image shows you how different cells have different components. So in this example, the liver cells have more mitochondria than epithelial cells. So the same thing applies to smooth ER. Certain cells in our body are more involved in detoxification of drugs and poisons, as well as storage of calcium ions or steroid synthesis. So these cells are more likely to have more smooth ER. So liver cells are not the only cells in our body that tend to have a lot of smooth ER. We also mentioned that the smooth ER is the site of steroid synthesis. Now let's think about where steroid synthesis occurs. So specifically, we're going to talk about the steroid hormone producing cells in the adrenal cortex. So let's look over here. This is the adrenal gland. It's like a little hat sitting on top of the kidney. And the adrenal gland has a cortex on the outside and a medulla on the inside. They each make different things. So the medulla makes catecholamines such as norepinephrine and epinephrine, and the adrenal cortex makes different hormones. And let's remember that you need steroids in order to make hormones. And so smooth ER will make steroids, and then that can be used to make hormones by the adrenal cortex. More specifically, the adrenal cortex produces aldosterone, which is involved in salt regulation. It also produces cortisol, which helps regulate blood sugar, and DHEA, which is an androgen. One last thing to mention is in muscle cells, there's a special type of smooth ER called the Sarcoplasmic Reticulum, and that stores calcium, which is needed for the muscle fibers to contract. One last point I want to mention about the smooth ER is it's the location of glucose 6-phosphatase. So let's take a look over here. That is glucose 6-phosphatase. Now, why is that important? Well, if you're familiar with biochemistry, you know that this is the enzyme that is involved in the last step of glycogenolysis, which is breaking down glycogen into glucose. And let's remember that glycogen is essentially how we can store glucose. And so you need glucose 6-phosphatase to break down glycogen so we can use that glucose that was stored. Now let's sum up the important facts of this video. The smooth ER does not have ribosomes. It's involved in steroid synthesis and detoxification of drugs and poisons. You have a lot of smooth ER in liver cells and adrenal cortex cells. And glucose 6-phosphatase is located in the smooth ER, which is the last step for glycogenolysis. Thank you for watching this video, and if you got this far, please give this video a like. Comment below with questions or if you want us to make a video on a different topic. Lastly, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss a future video.